Okay, I want to do a little video update on my Jaeger kit here. There's too much to type, so we'll just use technology. So let's see. I got the barrel tenons all in and drilled and slotted, and I got the inlet pipe drilled, pinned, and I've been working on the lock and the triggers, the set triggers. I think these are Davis triggers. I'm not sure. They came with the kit and they don't seem to be marked. I think there's a 6 on the casting on the lock plate on the inside. That's the only mark on it. They did not work when I got them. The trigger bars bound against each other terribly. The feather spring was binding the hammer trigger, the rear trigger. So I did a bunch of bending and filing and reheat treating and stoning. I had to pretty much work over everything in it to even get it to work. And so it's decent now. The lock is what I've been working on the last few days. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. Oh, maybe not. Hold on. There we go. Dizzy yet? Okay. So let's see the lock. I stoned on the outside of the plate and worked on the flintlock a little bit. Got the rough casting marks off of it. But I had a whole bunch of problems to deal with. First off, it was missing a fly. Like I said, this is a basket case kit, so the owner or the seller disclosed to me right off the bat that I'd have to get a fly for it. Well, everyone's out of stock on it, and it's $15 plus tax and freight, and so I have some 4140 bar, so I just sawed one out and filed it down and polished it and heat treated it, and it actually wasn't too bad. So it works really, really well. Really happy with the way it turned out. So I had to make a fly, do a bunch of polishing on the internals, the usual drill there. When I built this rifle or put this together, the pre-carved stock had these side panels. I have not done any filing on them, and I did not inlet the lock. That was already done. I had to set the barrel back to make the flash hole, put it in front of the breech plug face. So I set the barrel back about a half an inch and re-inlet all that just to make things fit and in the right place, which they were not from the pre-inlet. But as a product of that, I had to narrow the bolster on the lock, that part that fits against the barrel. I had to remove metal there to get the lock closer to the barrel so that it didn't stick out of the inlet. This is a B-weight barrel. Hi, cat. Yeah. So normally that would push your pan cover too far, against the barrel, narrowing the bolster here. So this being a bridleless lock, does not have a wraparound bridle here to support the outside of this screw head that the frizz pivots on. I was able to just make a shim. I turned down a number 10 AN washer and spaced this out, and then I thinned the washer just enough to give me my barrel clearance. And that solved two problems at once. I didn't have to grind on the frizzen any because it's hardened, and I didn't want to mess with it. It's fine the way it is. The other problem was, I don't know what it is about Chambers and Seiler or anything I've ever gotten from them. They can't seem to figure out how to line up the flintlock and the frizzen. Here, I'll show you. This Isaac Haynes is a perfect example. Excuse me, Miss Kitty. Oh, this is left-handed, but you see how crooked the flint has to be, and it's offset to even reach the frizzen face. You see how inboard the hammer or the flint cock is from the frizzen, and this one, the frizzen screw is drilled crooked. You can see how it weeble wobbles. It's not square to the barrel now when it's open, and it kind of swings around and cams in. So this one's just a mess, because in order to use the whole frizzen face and not hit the barrel right here with the edge of your flint, you see how the hoops you have to jump through with flint mounting to get that to work. This is a $315 lock in today's money, and they've been making them. What, Siler's been around. Bud was making them back in the 70s. They still haven't figured out how to make a lock. You know, people did 300 years ago knew how. Anyway, it's frustrating. Can't fix this one because, being a Siler, it's got a bridled frizzen there, so you're pretty much stuck with what you have. I suppose I could make a new tumbler and kick the hammer out away from the lock face about 1/8 of an inch to line it up, but I can make do with just the flints. Proper flint angle, or an improper flint angle. Okay, so on this one I didn't have to do that. I don't know if this is coming out on the video or not. I can't see the screen. Here, let me flip you on your head. There we go. See how nice and lined up that is? Well, sort of. It's lined up. I mean, it took, 53 thousandths of washer to do that. So anyway, that's done. The other thing, I do not know how a bridleless lock, I don't know how they keep the screw tight. There's no mechanism to keep the screw tight. I don't know if they're put in, snugged, backed off just enough to give clearance, and then staked on the inside. Or I don't know how they were done originally. I don't know if they just kept a turn screw with them all the time and made sure it didn't loosen up and fall out. I don't know. So I went in at an angle back here. The mainspring actually has a screw that fastens it to the back side of the lock plate, and it is right back here. But there was just enough room to drill a hole at an angle and put a 540 set screw in there to lock in the threads of this screw so it won't come out on its own. You have to totally take the lock apart to loosen that screw, but that's fine. And the screw can't fall out because the mainspring is so close to the mainspring head there. It keeps it in place. But I put that in with blue thread locker. Let's see, what else did I have to do? Made the fly, did a bunch of polishing. Oh yeah, polished the end of the sear spring. It's a V spring, and the end was just looked like it had been cut with bolt cutters. Miserable, ragged. So I cleaned all that up and polished on the engagement surfaces, which were not at 90 degrees to each other like they need to be. So I took a 1200 grit stone and trued those correctly. And what else did I do to fix on this thing? Oh, the pan cover. Yeah, that was awful. The pan didn't fit at all. Now these Germanic locks typically had the frizzen, some people call it the hammer, angled, and it curved way back. They also have a ridiculous throw on the cock, but that was kind of that's correct for the style. It's neat though because it has very good geometry, but it does sit back just a little bit more than it did after I got through filing this pan to where the cover would fit it, and it fits nice now. I was filed and checked with a light and got it all. It's not watertight, of course, nothing is, but it's a good metal to metal fit. So the 4F powder will definitely stay put when you turn this thing upside down. So all together, got it going, and here's a front trigger, and set trigger, which of course is where the fly comes in. Ta-da! Very nice. Not too light. It's about 12 ounce trigger when it's set. Whoops. Flintlock, dum-dum. There we go. Yeah. So that's all fitted. Now I have to make a trigger guard. Oh yeah, the other thing I did. More aggravations. So this, focus, is a white lightning flash hole liner. Supposed to be the creme de la creme of flash hole liners. Well, I installed one on another rifle I built, and after I got it installed and milled off and draw filed down, I realized that the hole was still over 1/8 of an inch long, the tunnel in there, and it would flash in the pan and not go off just repeatedly. You had to pick it every time. It was awful. So I ended up coning from the outside with a countersink. Coned it within 1 inch of its life, and finally, almost to the bottom of the hole, and finally got it where it's reasonably reliable. But I'm going to drill it out and extract it and do what I did to this one, which was backboard the thing considerably. That brings your main charge much closer to the edge of the hole. Puts it right there with a little kernel poking out, so it can get the heat from the pan flash and go off reliably. My kibblers are all made like that, and they are. I never have to pick the touch hole on a kibbler, never. They just go off. They just work because they're adequately backboard. So you buy these things, you buy their special tap and all of that, and then you find out that they're really not much better than just drilling a hole in the barrel, other than the fact that these are stainless steel. But more frustrations. You buy a product, you expect it to be able to install it by the instructions and it do its job, and then you get it and it's no better. I'm just so burned out on stuff isn't made right. It's just not. And so I spend hours and hours and hours in my machine shop fixing it. But it's still less trouble than making it from scratch, I assure you. I think my next lock will be made from scratch, or at the very least castings. This now it's a little darker. Let's see how she works. Oh yeah. So one thing I'll give Chambers on this particular lock is the frizzen is at least tempered correctly, or hardened and drawn correctly. This flint's getting dull. I've been playing with it all night, and it's not even. This is some kind of coarse white quartzite. It's not even chert. But look at that, nice travel on the frizzen. Hits right up here near the top, and gives it a good rake. That's just what you want to see. So pretty happy with that. Now if I can just get the rest of it sorted out. Got to make a trigger guard from scratch. Here's here's part of that. And I got to figure out how I'm going to make a patch box cover. I kind of oopsed on the butt plate. I brought this brass. It should be cut back a little bit more, and I shouldn't have rounded this off so much because it puts a pretty bad slope here on the end. End of the patch box cover will be at a slant if I do a traditional one, and it'll kind of look stupid, so I might invent something new. We'll see. I'll make a trigger guard that doesn't have a return. It'll be like the Hessian Jaegers that had just a big bow back here, and I think I'm going to do one that folds back on itself and does not have a finger hook. Let's see, I'm only going to put 2 rammer thimbles in this thing. It was inletted for 3, but I had to straighten out the rammer channel. It was drilled way off center, and the hole was way off center, so I ended up scraping that back to center with a long rod scraper and then drilling it to 7/16. I still have to finish widening and deepening the channel. There's plenty of wood there to do that, but it won't completely clean up this inlet here for the middle thimble, so I'll probably either fill that or just leave it. Make a nose cap from scratch. I'll make that out of brass. Trigger guard, front pipe, thimble thingy, side plate, patch box cover, and do some carving. I'm not going to put a thumb piece. This wrist is too short. It'd be down here. I'll probably bring this nose of the comb back considerably too, because it hits you right. Can't put your thumb over it. I guess you're supposed to put your thumb back here, but even then, this wrist is so short. This is just a goofy gun. Trying to save this nice piece of walnut rather than make firewood out of it, which is what should have happened, probably, but I'm stubborn, so we'll make it work. A bunch of custom parts, 3 times the amount of time and effort it would take if I was building it from scratch and could do it right in the first place. So all for now. Bye.